Okay, well, I tried walking through that path and I think it's going to be about up to my waist, and I'm definitely not going up to my waist in there. So, I was lucky enough to find some cranberry kind of in a little bit strange area, because this is usually quite a bit drier. This area is usually quite a bit drier during the normal season. And they like it in the bogs, and this is not a bog. It's just really badly flooded. Anyway, this is American cranberry, Vaccinium macrocarpon, which basically means large fruit. And it's called large fruit because in comparison to the small fruited cranberry, which is Vaccinium oxycoccus, the fruit's quite small. The fruit on these guys is probably, what you expect from the store, about that big. And here we see flower buds, but unfortunately these guys are not going to flower until mid-June through mid-July, so much for seeing the flower, so much for seeing the fruit. Although there might be some fruit on some plants that still hasn't been plundered by the animals, but I doubt it. Not in these exposed parts of the woods. And here we have another member of the heath family, which is sheep laurel, Kalmia angustifolia, which is in the same family. Cranberry is also a heath. They're both Ericaceae family. And then if you look just right up here, this is blueberry, which is Vaccinium corymbosum. This looks like Vaccinium angustifolium, which is not the high bush blueberry, but the low bush, even though it looks pretty high. Usually the low bush is a bit finer like this. And you can see the buds. Gonna have some nice juicy blueberries in about, I guess, 2 months or so. So the ecosystem is heavily dominated by conifers as trees, and Ericaceae or heath family in terms of shrub and subshrub layer, and then a lot of the ground cover is farther down towards the bog, but let's see what other areas we've got here. We've got some,
go by runners.
Yeah, here's a better illustration of their growth, which is basically mat forming. They're considered woody shrubs. Usually the stems run about 8 to 10 inches long, and then they start putting up these aerial or top shoots like that. They creep along the ground, and then they put these guys up, and those are the parts that are going to flower and set fruit. And so it's a trailing vine, definitely considered a woody vine. You can probably see the woodiness right here. You can see pretty well how that has a woody texture to it. It's definitely not herbaceous, but it is small, and so it's hard for people to think of them as shrubs, but they are. And here, I'll try the zoom in feature. Just bought this camera today, so I have no idea what I'm doing, but that is, oh wow, that's pretty clear. That's the stem. You can definitely see the woody aspect to it. If I could only get to the really juicy bogs. But right now, that is cranberry for you. And this is the same plant that is going to bear fruit. That's going to be on the dinner tables in Thanksgiving. In terms of cranberry sauce and all of that, the cultivated variety is derived from the wild variety, and there's almost no difference. Same species. Occasionally there's a cultivar of Vaccinium macrocarpon, but essentially the domesticated plants are wild in origin, and so you can actually see what's in the wild is what's going to be on your plate. Although there's no cranberries here, so I can't show that. Hopefully we'll be able to get some a little bit later on the trip. Okay.